Hey guys, it's Audra and welcome back to 365 Projects. I am here today with the first check-in for my book of the month. So it's week 1. I have read 2 books. So basically, if you didn't watch the last video, I'm going to leave it all down below, but the gist of it is on Mondays for the month of July, I am going to choose from one of the many physical books that I have from Book of the Month that I still need to read, and then also choose an audiobook that I have available on Overdrive to get through 2 books from Book of the Month. They're all fantastic books, and I still have 12 left, so I can't wait to see what I pick next. But I also have 2 more on the way for this month. So, hopefully I can get 2 books off my list for this week as well that are actual physical books too. So next week, I'm still even on the number. Whatever, we'll see. But first, let's recap what I read last week. The first book that I finished was actually The Broken Girls. That was on audiobook, and I wasn't able to get a physical copy because they are sold out on the website. But it is listed as a paranormal thriller, and I really thought I would love that paranormal aspect of the book. But, in fact, I think it took away from the story. Everything else about it, I totally would have been into. It had, the past and present thing going on with the murder mystery. You even had a character who was once in the Holocaust, and there were so many things going on that would have been really great, but I just fell short with the paranormal aspect with the ghosts, which really bummed me out. But I did give it a 4 stars. So basically, if you don't know what this one is about, this is set obviously in 2014 and then also in 1950-ish in Vermont, all around this home for broken girls. Essentially, it's a boarding school for girls that are illegitimate. They just are promiscuous, the girls that parents don't know what to do with, essentially. And it starts back then with a girl named Sonia. She has disappeared, and they say that she ran away, but the girls there think that she was murdered. And then it kind of goes back and forth between that storyline as well as present day-ish 2014 Fiona, who is actually trying to figure out who killed her sister, whose body was found at that exact boarding school in 1994. So if you watched my first video in this series, I was a little off in what I said, that I thought she would be related to the people in 1950. They're not at all, but they all somehow come together. There were some twists and turns that you can kind of figure out along the way, but all in all, it was a good read, and I did enjoy the story. I just wasn't so sure about the paranormal part. So anyways, let's move on. The second one that I read was The Perfect Mother, and this is by Amy Malloy. This is what I would call a domestic thriller, in that it's about a whole bunch of mothers. They call themselves the May mothers, and they all have babies in May, and July 4th they decide to go out for the first time together, and that night somehow one of their babies disappears. And so it's the journey, the story of trying to figure out what happened, who stole the baby. Is it the mother's fault? Was there kind of this whole conspiracy theory type things going behind it? And yeah, it was just a debut thriller. A lot of it was kind of confusing. I didn't really follow along with where it was going, which in not a good way. Sometimes that's a good way. You want to be surprised, but it really just didn't piece together at the end. And one of the points of view, it's mostly told in third person. The first person, I just I don't know. I didn't understand what they were trying to go with it. I get it by the end of it, obviously. You got a crazy psychopath, whatever. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. If you are new to the thriller or domestic thriller kind of situation, check this one out. If you have read a whole bunch and you're a Gillian Flynn fan like me, you may not be as into it, but it was still a decent read, just not my fave. Let's go ahead and pick the books for this week, which I'm excited about. I secretly have a couple that I'm hoping and praying get chosen for this week, so we shall see. So here's a recap of what we have left for physical books. We have Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. That will be a reread. The Power All the Ugly and Wonderful Things, I Let You Go, Little Fires Everywhere, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Red Clocks, Still Lives, I'm losing them, Missing Presumed, Rainbirds, As Bright as Heaven, and The Last Equation of Isaac Severy. So I'm going to have Siri pick a number between 1 and 13. They all have numbers on the back of them that go with what book it was. The Perfect Mother was number 6, so if she picks that one, we'll have to choose again. If I pick a book that I have an audiobook for on Overdrive, I'm going to use that for my audiobook and then choose another one for physical book. So let's just see what happens. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 13.
Random number between 1 and 13 is 13.
13. Okay. Weird. 5. Let's see what we got. Ooh, it might be one of the ones I was hoping, because this one is number 12, and this was the dystopian, so, oh please, oh please, oh please. Yes! Ah! Okay, The Power. This one is about a dystopian world where women control the power in their hands. And I've been wanting to read this for a while. It is probably, I think, my first adult dystopian I'm going to be reading. I know, like, the one at Target, it says, like, it's Obama's favorite book of, like, 2017, which makes me want to read it, like, even more. But I do have this on audiobook, too, so that is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and have her pick another number and see if we can knock 2 off of this list, I think. How do I want to do this? Yeah, let's go ahead and go with that, because I said I would do that from the beginning. All right, so here we go. Hey, Siri, pick another number between 1 and 13.
Random number between 1 and 13 is 10.
10, okay. So 5, 12, 10. Okay, not the one I was hoping, but this is what it is. As Bright as Heaven by Susan Mesner. I read one of her books at the very beginning of the year. I absolutely loved it all the way to the end, and I really hope this doesn't do that to me. I don't know much about this except it is World War I, and this is another I actually have an audiobook this week. Okay, so the Spanish flu is reaching the shores of North America. The pandemic claims more than 12,000 victims in the city of this family. They take a baby who's orphaned by the disease. So basically what they cannot live without and what they're willing to do about it. That actually sounds really good. That'll be a nice contrast to my dystopian one. So these are the 2 books for this week. I'm very excited. They've been on my list for a while. They both are pretty big though, so that's interesting. I'm going to see if one of these will fit on my biannual Bibliothon TBR, and if not, you may see more of these books on that TBR that I think I will be posting on Friday. I'm very excited about these picks. If you have read either of them, please let me know your thoughts down below. Don't give me any spoilers yet. If you read the ones from last week, what did you think? I'm really hoping that one of these books are a 5-star book, because last week kind of fell flat, which is weird because all of my other Book of the Month books are like 4.5, 5 stars. So I'm kind of hoping these keep it back in the game. So anyways, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye guys.